What is up, everybody? Solomon here. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. As many of you may know, within the LightHouse, we have Hedera's Corner, and today, happy to say that we have Patrick from Earthlings building out essentially the first gaming metaverse on Hedera. How are you doing this morning, Patrick?
Fine on this rainy day, but still fine. Thank you for asking. How are you doing today?
Oh, fantastic. So super excited to finally get a chance to talk with you guys. I mean, can you give us a little bit of a background about when you guys started with Earthlings, why you chose to launch on Hedera, and maybe even just a little bit of a background about the team in general?
Oh yeah, that's a nice one to start off with the team. Yeah, so me and my brother, Marcel is his name. We actually ran a company for about 20 years, design company. And after a while, I just got fed up with the Netherlands, so I moved to France. I quit my job together with him. We were still besties, but I just moved abroad, so I quit working in this company together with him. But after a few years, I did miss working together with people. And also my brother and we are crypto enthusiasts. So we also had a crypto portfolio. And then I always need to say this correctly because I think it was this year still. So this year and last year it already began with all the NFTs, and this year we had, in the beginning of the year, we had the nice next peak of Bitcoin, but also all these metaverse projects and gaming projects. That's where I started diving into these things a bit more. Not so much in collecting NFT for pictures and stuff, but then NFT gaming came up, and Marcel and I, both being crypto enthusiasts, we liked the gaming aspect of these things. So I told him, why not set up something ourselves? Because we saw a lot of these projects really hype driven without anything to show for. Some really didn't even have a white paper, and still people were buying it. Of course, in the bull run, it looks like everything sells, but we really did see that there was a need for better designs, better gameplay products out there, because a lot of these metaverses, they claimed to be, well, not a gaming metaverse, but metaverse games. Yeah. We thought we could do better. And since we did a lot of design and concept, actually, we said, why not do something? So I wrote down the white paper, showed it to him. He liked it a lot. And he, of course, designed the logo and all this other stuff. Then we said we need someone who understands the technology side of it as well, because, well, just because. So Jorgo, we've known him for, let's see, I'm 45, so for 25 years now. And he started his own company creating register systems for shops, actually, these digital screens where you can program your stuff. So he's a self-taught programmer as well, by the way. Those are the best. You need these self-taught people because there's more enthusiasm in these guys. And he's an awesome programmer. So we showed him the white paper, and he said, yeah, the thing is, Web3, blockchain, all this new emerging technology, it's going to be the future. So yeah, I want in. And he liked the concept. So there we had the three founders, and we all pitched in, paying for the initial costs. And that's where we started. I think I'm forgetting something, but I'm not sure what.
I think the question that I always have within all these, especially when we're talking about builders and communities on Hedera Hashgraph, because there's so many different networks out there in this space. So why would you, I mean, for me, I think I probably know why it makes sense to build out gaming and metaverse aspects on Hedera, but from your guys' purview, what made it make sense to target Hedera? How did you stumble across Hedera, and why did you choose to build on Hedera?
Yeah, the funny thing there is that I was known with Hedera, but not as much as some other projects that I had in my portfolio. So I started out with looking at another blockchain first, and I said to Jorgo, what do you think? Is this something for us? Because he had the last say about this, because he needed to build all this functionality on it. And he said, and he's a very good programmer. We'll get to that in a second. But he said, no, if I'm going to build on this, I'm going to have to go back to school. This is just nearly it's impossible unless, well, anyway. So I said, okay, we're going to skip that. So we looked into some other ones. He gave me one actually, but that one was having a lot of issues. So I'm not going to call out names, but so I said, nah, let's not do that either. But it was super easy because some of these popular chains are very easy to build on, but I didn't want to go for that either. So, and I said, you know what? I have some HBAR as well, and this looks like a very solid project. Can you check that out on the technology side of things? And actually, within an hour, he called me back. This is so easy to build on. There's a lot of help from the community that you can get, but I should have him as on the third screen here explaining, of course. But what I got from him is, it's easy to build on, a lot of documentation, and you can start right away. Within 2 days, less than 2 days, he had set up his own minting process. So even with Hashpack integrated. So Hashpack was also very helpful with that from the start. But eventually he didn't even need backup from them. But they have very good assistance there. So yeah, I think if you can build a whole minting process yourself within 2 days, that says something about Hedera, a bit about Jorgo as well, but
yeah,
but it says enough. So, and then we saw that they were starting to onboard all these NFT projects, so it all made sense, and we started there, and we never regretted it.
I mean, that's kind of what I've heard across the board, especially with devs and community builders that move to Hedera and start actually testing out the network and the tool sets. And we all know JavaScript is an extremely fluid language with application development. So anytime that I've been in a conversation with somebody, number one, you nailed it with the community. There's so much help in the community. But number two, once these developers start using the tool sets, it's really amazing. Like, I've never really gotten negative feedback, and it's just amazing to see where we're at. So from the gaming aspect, I mean, I watched the first video that you did with HBAR Bull a few months back. And can you talk a little bit about your guys' envisionment of maybe what's out there in this space right now, like from a marketing aspect, versus what's actually going to be in these metaverses and these games, and what really sets Earthlings apart from that aspect?
Yeah. So what I said, we saw there were some things missing out there. Excuse me. So, and one of these things, what we were missing is professional gaming, but not only not only the gaming, but also design-wise, because if you come with a new product, especially in the metaverse, there's so many metaverses out there, and some of them say that they have this gaming, but if you take out the play to earn factor, would you still play it? We don't think so, and that's where we saw the challenge that we could overcome, because we are designers, and we like to think out new concepts, and gameplay is just another concept, of course. But if what we set out to do is to build a metaverse, actually a game with the metaverse attached to it. So that's why we say gaming metaverse, not metaverse gaming. That is really fun to play, because if you can't get people engaged with your game, they will lose interest, and it's the gamers you need, and not the early investors. So that's why, and you will see that I hope in the trailer that we will show in a second or at the end, up to you as well, that we really focus on good design. Because I'm going from left to right, I know that, but for instance, you walk in the city, okay, and if you don't feel engaged to look around the corner, see what's around the corner, but you're like, yeah, well, nice place, but let's get out of here. But you need to be dropped in there and think, yeah, I want to see what's more. I want to see what's in the underground. I want to see what's in that glass building. If you can't get that, it doesn't matter if you have fun gameplay, because the two have to sync together. Fun gameplay starts with good design. Yep. So that's something that we really, really focus on. And I've got the whole question anyway, so.
No, and I think it's, I mean, like for me, if I look at the gamification out in this space right now, and even just to witness what occurred over the last cycle, you look at, something like, nothing against Ethereum or Axie Infinity or anything, but hitting a multi-billion-dollar market cap from Axie Infinity's purview, where I mean, it's literally just as basic as it can possibly get. And essentially that value representing more than all of the AAA gaming studios in the entire world combined. You could tell that there's probably a little bit of oversaturation versus reality there, but like being able to actually engage and explore within these metaverses is fantastic. And then adding the gamification aspect in also. Can you talk a little bit about, because I know that you guys have NFTs and that they have kind of a place within the world that you guys are building. Can you talk about that? And then can you expand out even with the play to earn aspects with the Steam token and how that's all going to kind of mesh together in the universe that you're building?
Let's see if I can stick to the question a bit this time. Yeah, so we have NFTs. Yeah, of course now we're throwing out the first land plots. Well, actually towns and villages. It's also land, but towns and villages are going out first. And for instance, if you can be a mayor in Earthlings land of your own town, and that means that players that will later onboard your town, because they will own, let's say, a single house plot, and they can onboard it in your town, and they can rent a shop from you. For instance, the towns will have 2 shops that they will get for free, the town owners, and they can choose to use it themselves, the mayor, or have one of the plot owners in their town use it and do something with it. But they will get a little percentage of everything that goes on in their town. So we are also actually, it shows that we are a metaverse selling land, of course, but it's just the beginning. And what I want to do is to get a bit of this Age of Empires feeling as well, because with the Age of Empires you have all these add-ons in your town, in your little kingdom actually. So we're going to do that as well. As a town owner, you can have a train station. If you don't want to buy it, have one of your plot owners buy it, but you will still get some tax from that. You can have a bank. Lehman Swap is going to handle the banks for us. You know Lehman Swap well, of course. So all these kind of things. But also you could have you could be a transatlantic captain. I'm not set in stone yet, by the way, because I need to talk about that with the team. But things like taxi driver, all these things, we like to really incorporate digital jobs, so to say. So really make a big economy, but always thinking from gaming. Gaming comes first because there has to be fun to be in there. And if you are early and you invest in, you buy land now, yeah, you have some advantages. But gamers that will come in the game later, they will have a lot of advantages too, because there's actually, well, you probably know the gamer's dilemma. So investors aren't gamers and gamers aren't investors. So how do you bring these two together? So that's what we're trying to do here, solve this whole puzzle. And the gamers will have their own advantages later. We're updating the white paper, by the way, now, and you'll just have to read it because I'm going to explain it and it's going to be longer. So, but you're never late to join. As a gamer, you will just join the game, feeling like you're joining a AAA game without the need of first buying land or other items. So it's actually a very professional game that you can join. And when they start playing, they will, of course, start collecting Steam, start collecting rare animals that you can have as a sidekick, by the way, in the game. And as soon as they start collecting all this stuff, at a certain point, they will be wondering, now, what can I do with all this stuff? And then they will find out, hey, you can add, you can connect a wallet to this game, and you can sell it. So this is a way of bringing gamers in without first the negative feel that they have with play to earn. And we prefer to say play and earn.
Yeah.
Okay. I probably missed, what else did I miss from your question? Because
I always load my questions with like 5 parts. So that's
I know. Yeah, I had you on Twitter once and you asked 3 questions. I'm like, oh, wait, what was the first question again?
That's just how that's just how my mind works sometimes. I like that actually, you know, not necessarily like play to earn, but play and earn, I think is awesome, because I know one of the big things is, you know, you see, or at least on a lot of AAA gaming aspects out there right now from the console standpoint, is there's always such a stigma around the microtransactions and the micro payments and stuff. And it's like, at first, at anything's core, I mean, it has to be fun. You have to be able to, like I think you mentioned before, you have to be able to engage with the world. You want to be able to, I mean, the biggest goal is people want to, you want people to stay and what you've built, and then you want to people to experience it and then participate in the economy and everything else. And you touched on it a little bit, which I think is really interesting. Building out an economy in a metaverse, there's going to be multiple facets within that. And you talked about working with Lehman Swap from the banking aspect within your metaverse. Are there any other collaborations that you guys are building out for the metaverse right now, or have you had collaborations in the past? How do you see that moving forward?
Well, I think we already do some exciting things. Of course, with Lehman Swap, we're doing a lot of talks with Hashback as well, whom we're doing these cross-chain talks with. Yep. And I'm looking into what else we can do with cross-chain collaboration. There is something coming up. If I tell that now, my team will kill me, so I can't do that yet. Sorry. But we're really we're having a nice little feature that we're doing, and we will throw it out in the coming weeks. But yeah, we had some nice talks with, for instance, Matt V Apes from VeChain. I actually bought one now myself as well, and these guys are so amazing, so nice, because I like it when I speak to these guys on Zoom as well, and it's just so nice to see these, normal, regular dudes like you and me doing these awesome things. So that's nice. We're making some friends as a project there. We had Crypto Dinos, who are very friendly from Cardano, and they brought in Fast Society as well, also from Cardano. And they do Solana as well, by the way, they do too. So we're doing all these talks, cross-chain talks, trying to get these family-friendly partners as well, seeing how we can maybe in the future even integrate them into our game, because that's the fun thing about gaming Metaverse. If you have the Metaverse part as well, you have so much more options to do with collaboration. You can give them a head office or whatever. So things like that we are still talking about, and we have a very, very nice Twitter talk that I'm trying to organize now, and I'll let you know behind the scenes.
I saw that you guys were doing cross-chain talks on the Twitter, and I think that's fantastic. I think that's going to be massively important for the space as a whole, moving forward, because we talk a lot about network of networks, and that's really what's going to get us there is bringing in other ecosystems, or even Hedera ecosystems branching out to other ecosystems. I mean, I think that's absolutely huge. From the roadmap standpoint, I don't know how much you can actually say from the roadmap standpoint. I know Q4 has been really busy for you guys. You guys just did the first drop for your founders holders. Where do you see it moving forward in Q4? Are there any other, I know you talked about a couple of weeks, any other big announcements in Q4? And then where does that go out into the future as far as like early 2023?
So we're going to have the towns and the villages. I'm really hoping to get that news out this week. I have got me and my big mouth. I said last week to my community, I think we're going to do an announcement this week. And then the team sent me back home. No, Patrick, you need to write more about. So here's a scoop for you as well about the gamers plots, because we can't throw this information out if they don't know about that. So then I needed to go back to the writing table and write all that stuff out. So, but I'm hoping to throw out all this information this week. So about the town and village sale that's coming up, and those will be lower in numbers than, of course, the plots, because they need to fit in all these towns and villages. So, but also it fits our concept that we first want to grow a community more, so that we have all these plots divided more over different wallets, of course. So. What was the rest? Roadmap. Yeah, I'm getting back there again. So then we're going to throw out the tokens any day now. So I'm having some final talks this week about that. We have our upgraded tokenomics, because let's be honest, you can't know everything. And I started this, and I did a lot of digging in tokenomics, but no one can really tell you. So turned out my little round pie chart was actually quite good. But we needed some improvements here and there on the back end. And now we really wrote down the whole tokenomics. HBAR Joe, a well-known HBAR member in the Discord community, he helped me out a lot. We have a lot of help from the community, by the way. We have an awesome Discord community. And so we are now ready to also throw out the tokens. I think the announcement will come in. Let's keep it safe in a few weeks. I hope sooner. And then from there, yeah, sorry, you want to say something?
No, yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
even with the milestones and achievements you guys have been able to accomplish thus far, because I think the founders NFT sale was a few months back, and it just seems like you guys have really gained a lot of traction in this space since then. So maybe talk a little bit about where you're at right now as far as some of the achievements that you guys have had thus far, because I know I don't like talking about, value or go buy X, Y, and Z, but just even to watch the floor price of the founders NFT, it's been pretty amazing to watch. And I personally picked up a founders one, so not financial advice to anybody listening to this, but it was one of those things where I looked down the road and I was like, man, I wish I would have picked up a couple of more. So
I wish I did, because I don't get any pay. So I said to my wife, why didn't I buy more? Because I've got some founder cards, of course, but I needed to buy some myself as well. But anyway, no financial advice. But indeed, when the floor price kept going up, I was amazed by that as well, of course. But looks like people just see where we're going, and yeah. So what was the question?
No, I mean, just milestones. I mean, where you guys have.
Oh yeah, milestones. Yeah, thank you.
So
Yeah.
far, yeah.
So what did we accomplish so far? So we were a bit behind on the city scenes. Well, we have them finished now, and we will show them in this video, of course. But it took us a bit longer, and I'm so happy that that's done now, because we really had this awesome scenery that we showed in the first clip in the H-Bar Bull interview. So we needed to at least have something at least as good as that. And it needed to fit the scene as well. We knew what we wanted. So we were already starting to build all these buildings, but we didn't have anyone in our team who could do these textures, because doing the textures makes all the difference. Let's just say, call it a paint job. And that you can do it in so many ways in this 3D world. So it took me like 6 to 7 weeks longer to find the agency that could do it for us in the style that I wanted. So that was throwing us back a bit, but we got it now, and you're going to show it. So I'm happy with that, and we're going to improve on that, because we're going to still add a lot of these things. But now that we have the style 100%, and as I said, we're designers, so this is something we focus on a lot, and design is everything in gaming. So now we're going way faster. I'm having underground areas being built, more buildings are being thrown out, and now we can really texture them faster as well, because we have someone to do that. And actually one of our team members picked it up very well. So that's a milestone I think was for me something very exciting, because yeah, that kept me awake at night. Are we going to get this texture as good as the nature scenes? And we did. So I think the movie will not disappoint people.
Yeah, and I've seen it, so we're definitely going to share it. But before we share that, I would like to give you an opportunity to maybe share some of the links to drive people towards learning more about what you guys are facilitating, whether that be Twitter, the site. Where would you like to drive people to so they can learn more about the world that you're building?
I would say go to Twitter and just scroll all the way down, and then you can see the whole history. And go to our Discord as well, but it's easiest to just go to earthlings.land, because all the links are there on the page, of course. So start there, go to Twitter, join our Discord if you want, of course. We have a very fun place. We've got some young gamers in the space as well, and they are amazing. We got some 15-year-old people in the Discord, and they are so much fun. So yeah, go there, come join our Discord.
And then and I'm super excited to be sharing this video, but I want to kind of let you lead us into this video, and I'll upload it so that everybody can see it after the fact. But I think you talked about the kind of the landscape aspect that came out a few months ago, and this is more of the city scene. And yeah, I know you told me, this is actually going to be what's represented whenever people are actually in the world. It's not just a trailer. It's not just X, Y, and Z. So maybe lead us into this video. And thank you so much, Patrick, for coming on this morning. It's been a pleasure being able to talk to you. I'm sure this will not be the last time that we speak. So if you want to give us the intro into the city scene, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, so as you said, and that's a very important thing, the video that you're going to see now is really a scene from the city that you're going to walk in. And we're going to even add to this because animals, avatars, vehicles, we already have vehicles, but we haven't put them in the scene yet. They're just going to complement the whole thing. And we're going to have amazing things in the city. So what you're seeing here now is just a preview of what you can expect, a minimum preview of the quality, but we're hoping to amaze even more because the city alone is good. I'm aiming for like 5 by 5 kilometers. Because what good is to have a tram in your city if you can walk from one end to the other? So, yeah. I'll leave it with that because I'll just keep mumbling on and you press the play button on the video and hopefully we see each other again in another video. Thanks so much for your time.